All right, here we got a Mercury Verado. We had this boat come in. This is a Nitro 929 CDX. It's a nice boat. It's in good shape for its age. Came in for some service work. This boat's going to go out of the country for a little fishing. It's a pretty nice boat. Needs a little upholstery work, but other than that, really good shape. Brought it in to service the engine and install a jack plate. We installed an Atlas 6-inch setback jack plate on it. And then the gentleman had purchased these two Talons. These are 12-foot Talons. He purchased them used. And against our better judgment, we wanted the brackets that actually mount to the jack plate. But he bought these. This is what came with these used Talons. So we just bolted them on to the back of the jack plate. And they're actually now attached with the weight of the engine. Going up and down. I'm sure the jack plate can hold that, but to me it's a bit extreme and they should be mounted to the jack plate. Of course, his feedback is going to tell us. Only problem with mounting these things like this is a few things. Is one, we had to get some longer bolts, and number two is it sets them back a lot further than where they would be over there. So they're sitting back further and further from the boat. Now we've got them adjusted about as close as we can get them to the boat, which isn't too bad. But this is a very shallow boat and it's a lot of weight on the back. So the bottom of the boat is very close to the bottom of the Talon. And we don't want any water exiting the bottom of the boat and hitting the Talon and then shooting up and creating this beautiful waterfall that, you know, floods the boat while it's underway. So in my opinion, in our opinion, this really, you know, these brackets should not be mounted here. They should be mounted there. And these Talons should be, you know, a lot closer to this boat. But a little testing and, you know, he can see. Now these could be adjusted. Looks like they have enough adjustment to bring the bracket out further. And then we'd have to flip this bracket upside down and move it on this side, turn the Talon around backwards and mount it to get it just a little bit closer. That would be a lot of work and just not sure that's the right thing to do. Also, the weight of these Talons, probably, what, 40 pounds a piece? Joseph, you think? About 40 pounds a piece plus the bracket. And we've added that additional weight onto this jack plate. And, you know, Atlas jack plates are pretty good. They use this composite slide, which has some flex to it. And we got a pretty, you know, pretty heavy motor here hanging on here as well. And that's why we really don't want any more setback off of this boat. So, you know, this motor goes up really high right now, so you can see the bottom of the boat. We're well above the water pickup, and if he were to try to run this thing at any kind of speeds with that motor jacked up, he would, you know, certainly overheat the motor and cause an engine failure. Now we are waiting on some trim parts to reseal these trim rams. So we have one trim ram off, which is right there, you know, that's where it goes. And those are the Verado trim rams, and there's some sellers that are selling just the cap with the seals, and that's what we're waiting for. Otherwise, you have to buy the whole trim rod kit, which is very expensive and not really necessary if everything's in pretty good shape. So anyway, that's a used Talon installation. Go ahead, Matt, Joseph, I'm sorry. And Joseph got the remote. You're gonna push the button. Go ahead. And they both come down. And they joggle the boat. They jog the boat just a little bit. Of course, there is a setting, you know, on here, soft, medium, and hard. Go ahead and push it again, Joseph. And they're coming up now. And it's kind of giving you a depth, you know, and you can see that they'll go all the way to 12 feet. So we go mode over here, right? Then go soft, which is green, and hard, which is going to hit it down. And of course, you can activate the Talon from here too if you don't have the remote. So I got it set to hard now. Let's see how much, what hard looks like, how much it moves the boat. Go ahead. So, I mean, pretty nice stuff. I like the Talon anchors. You like it, Joseph? Okay, we're also, I'm sorry, I stopped the video for a second, and Joseph wanted to show the jack plate. So go ahead and let me get over there to the measurement. And we're going to lower this jack plate down. We're going to activate it. Joseph, this one Talon is not up all the way. There it goes. Maybe he just hit the button. It went right up. He pushed the remote. Okay, so here's our jack plate, and they got a little measurement on there. It shows where it's at. Go ahead, Joseph. Now, that gives about another 6 inches of talon depth too. So these are 12-foot talons, and depending how far off of the water or whatever, but you know, if you needed 6 more inches, you could just trim the motor up and drop the the jack plate down and get 6 more inches of depth out of your talon. Go ahead and raise it up again. Raise the jack plate. And we went ahead and we mounted the factory switch, the jack plate switch. We went ahead and put it right there. We moved the horn button up to make a nice installation. Okay, go down again. So as you can see, the talons are moving up and down with the jack plate. So that's a lot of hardware hanging off of the back of that jack plate. And that's going to speak pretty highly for Atlas in my opinion, but hell, the force of the engine bucking and pushing, really shouldn't affect it in my opinion. Raise it up. Anyway, modern day stuff, pretty cool stuff, really.